What's going on? Justice 7 here. Let's go and just get straight to it. If you're a coach or a creator and you're still stuck selling the hard way, you're left feeling like your audience should be converting, right? They're hesitating. You're getting ghosted. It's just not clicking for them. Like I'm telling you right now, this is the fix. It's the most powerful one-page funnel I've ever built that's really been able to help my clients and folks that I've worked with go from cold to high ticket sales without the endless sales calls or complicated launches or any of that stuff. Okay, so what I'm showing you right here is this is basically, if you've been around, you've probably seen this before. This is what I teach people inside of my brand of clients, aka B2C. And so within this, we are talking about some core elements in a sense here, but instead of going ahead and focusing on all of them for right now, I want to really highlight what's important in regards to this because you are really getting a key element of what I teach inside of brand of clients, which right now that is heavily engulfed in the bestseller offer engine. Okay, so now how does this kind of make sense and what else is related to it? I'm a big believer in really helping you create a superior, irresistible no-brainer offer that really we teach within the bestseller offer framework. So, but what's important about that, and that some people miss when, because, I'll show this to folks, I've given them pieces, they try to figure out themselves. Totally fine, nothing wrong with that. But the reality is when you take that, you forget the fact that you might have a high quality offer, but the problem is the delivery of it, how you share it, how you pitch it, how you position it. I see that's where so many people, honestly, it really kind of makes or breaks their business, right? And then when we add on top of that, there's the whole activate demand section of it, where this now is really comes down towards how are we going to add in the proven lead generation strategies to actually bring people to the offer, how we actually go ahead and have an ecosystem that's created and designed to just have a built-in nurture system with it, and just how is this all going to merge together. So I want to really break down all of this and more inside of this one-page client magnet funnel that is going to be able to sell high ticket for you. And obviously, of course, if you stay until the end as well too, I want to make sure especially that, like I said, there's a few kinks here that will actually make or break the process. So I don't want to get into all that right now, but stick around to the end. I'll make sure I share those specifics as well. Okay, now I want to go ahead and dive straight into the one-page funnel that sells high ticket for you, aka the client magnet funnel here. So first off, out the gates, right? Let's just get a quick understanding of why this even works in a space like we're facing right now today inside of the coaching creator service-based business consultant business all over here, right? The reality is traditional funnels are too long, too bloated, and really people are you're trying to sell high ticket like it's a $47 course, right? Buyers today, they don't want a slideshow, they want clarity, they want relevance, and really they want alignment with where they're at right now, right? And so clearly, as you can see as well too, right? Here's the proof just out the gates, right? I've gotten clients like Brianna mine who've used this stuff to get 10K in the first 45 days. Alan who had 17K in 30 days, right? Nick who had 19K in 8 days. Crystal, 10K in 30 days of implementing. Jacob with a beta offer closed, over 30K in 2 months of launching. I'm just sharing this to show that it's more so about the way you execute versus just blindly executing. And that's the problem where so many people are thinking that, yes, I have this great offer, but they're missing on how to get it in front of the right people, and arguably more important, how they even are getting it in front of the right people, right? How they're delivering it, sharing it, pitching it to these right people as well too. This funnel truly flips that. All right. So out of the gates, you're like, what makes this thing powerful, right? Really, once again, I make this in reality here simple to create, right? Like the idea of this behind this is like this is the client magnet funnel, right? And it's a one-page offer system that pre-sells before the sales call, if you even need one, right? I make this simple to create, especially alongside AI, because honestly, like, I need my new students to get out there and not only make offers quickly, but close their first deals and next clients quickly as well too, right? So I personally built mine, as you can see here, inside of AIO, my AIO system, but really you can use whatever works, right? So that's, it's again, you can sell this with a Google Doc, a PDF, a funnel builder, a website builder, it doesn't really matter. And even I give you access to a done for you Google template to use this so you can get this off and running, because it's not about looking pretty. The best marketers don't care about how pretty it looks, they care about how effective it looks. And sometimes it takes a lot of people a long time to realize that. Right? They're too focused on brand, colors, fonts, and all this kind of stuff. So with that being said here, I want to now start to get into this idea of, all right, how can we now start to transition this? Like, what makes this stuff really convert, right? Like, I want to show you a quick example too. I think I have this below. I'll pull up in a second, but a quick example of one that I've used that has literally closed me 5K to 8K clients on repeat, right? I'll go ahead and I'll share that with you too. But once again, this is the importance of behind what you have to really do here is once you've created this client magnet funnel, now you can get this in front of cold leads, right? You can get this in front of members of your social media audience. You can get this in front of audience members who are warmer, right? We want to make sure we're getting this, warm email lists, past prospects, people who, audience members who didn't buy from you before, low ticket buyers, right? But on top of all that, this will without a doubt be most effective by aligning the offer with the ideal avatar that you have in mind. Right? The offer inside of this funnel needs to be a no-brainer one. I'm talking about inside of your funnel. When you take this and you plug it in, because you can get this done by today easily, especially if you already have an offer, but you need to make sure that you have a no-brainer offer attached to this, right? And just to even give you like a few tips to do so, I'd say for one, you want to definitely make sure you hit the right pressure points with your offer. If you can, add some urgency, add some scarcity, include a direct line of communication to you if possible. And also keep this kind of philosophy in mind. People want faster or better results, right? They want faster, better results compared to what they're going through or what they have right now. I say going through because maybe they've gotten help before it didn't work. Maybe they've gotten help and they're still going through it. If you want to win someone over, you have to be able to deliver faster or better results, and you have to at least be able to present it so that at least it feels that way. So for you, I want you to lean into whatever it is, whatever in your gut you feel like is going to make that true. Now's the time to really put your money where your mouth is and lean into that. All right. So this is where we now start to kick stuff up to the next level of fuel here too, which is the 5-piece funnel structure. This is the how. This is how we really, the what and the how, and how we implement this stuff in yourself, right? So once again, there is only 5 simple, short and sweet parts and pieces, if you will, to making this work. And I will just put this out there. They all play an extremely powerful role individually. So I want to get into what each of those are. So before that as well too, like I said, I give you an example of the exact funnel that I've used to close 5 to 8K clients, and honestly even 5-figure clients and above, but on average it was more than 5 to 8K in this one here. And the reality is, like, this is what it looks like, right? It's like, as you can see here, going through, it's very simple, straight to the point on this end, and it's really just made to, once again, to close clients for you. And so with that being said, though, each part, each element here is important. And so, like I said, you can go ahead and look through this on your own time, but I want to walk you through each of the 5 pieces of this funnel that make it tick, that actually allow it to convert. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 1 is the headline, right? When it comes to any headline, you want to keep this in mind, right? Big desire and fast win, right? If I could double down on this for you, a meaty desire, like I said, a meaty desire that pre-sells them on using your core offer to get the result they want. And at the end of it, that's what they're looking for here. People are looking for a transformation. They're looking to go from their current situation to a desired situation. As some people say, they're in Hell Island, they want to get to Heaven Island. Your offer needs to serve as the bridge. And so when it comes to that, a place that a lot of people struggle with is the messaging and dialing the right verbiage that really translate that. So there's plenty of different examples. This is the example I pulled from the funnel. Hey, how I've sold $1 million of coaching and my new plan to scale to $1 million per year. As far as headlines go, this is a bit like curiosity driven as well too, to be honest with you. The other one as well too, I'll give you an example. Like if I was, selling this video that you're watching right now, obviously you didn't pay thousands of dollars to see this, but I'm just sharing it as if this was a funnel for that. It's like I could have the headline be, replace back-to-back sales calls with a smarter funnel that actually closes, right? Like, so this is what we want to have, and we don't want to overlook this. And I think this is also the kind of stuff where, especially when it comes to ads, if you have your main landing page, you want to be testing that all the time. And so with this, it's very similar. You want to be testing it, I should say, until you find something that starts to connect. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But that's the first element of this, the first piece of the 5-piece funnel structure. Right. And so, like I said, this is the example here, as you can see. Piece number 2, right? That is what they'll learn. All right. What they'll learn. So when it comes to what they'll learn, here's where now we start to tease the how, right? Like really we want to tease what's inside and who it's for, right? Because the reality is, like, we need to explicitly mention what the hows are going to be here. And this is very important because it needs to speak towards what it is they actually want, right? As you can see, I have my examples here directly from the funnel example I gave you. Like I said, if we're going off of the theme of what I would do for like this video, if I was selling a high ticket offer with it, it's like, hey, if you're a coach with a clear offer, I'm going to show you exactly how to package and position it, right? Like this is like, that's once again, it's giving the hows. And I would go ahead, like, let's just say, take it one step further, right? Package and position it to convert colder leads without chasing. I want specificity. I want the right elements here that really shine a light and draw the interest, draw the intrigue, draw the curiosity. This is what can be extremely powerful. And once again, like this is another core piece of this that makes this client magnet funnel tick. Okay. So that's another big one we have here on this side. So that's piece number 2. The third piece, that's the video breakdown. Now, in reality here, this is the heart of the funnel, right? This in reality here, and I'll tell you right now, this can be anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes long. In this one, I have this as a longer video. This is just one I was testing at the time. Like the reality is you don't need to have it as long as this one. You can have it, I think a good sweet spot is like 10 to 12 minutes for this. But really, you can watch my example in the funnel I gave you to see kind of how I broke down the core phases, right? Because in reality here, you want to make sure you're breaking down all of these. And if you, little heads up as well too, let's just say you are doing this, we're about to get into like 10 different phases of this video. For each phase, you can like kind of structure it out based on how long you want the video to be, right? You can do each phase is a minute long and you'll have a 10-minute video, right? Or you can have it where it's like the average is a minute long, some are a little bit longer, some a little bit shorter based off of the piece that we're about to walk through right now. So just a little bit to keep in mind as we go through this here, but your video really should walk through most, if not all of these core phases. So number 1, really out the gate, as you can see, once again, this is the video breakdown, the heart of it. The reality here is the intro is the first one. Right. So we want to go ahead and just reiterate what it is you're going to share, reiterate this so that they actually go ahead and watch this thing all the way through, and not even reiterate that they're going to watch it through. We want to make sure that we first tell them to watch it through here. Now in phase number 2 of this one, that is why it's critical to watch this entire video. So we're doubling down and reiterating why it's important, why it's critical here. And we're doing so by sharing authority and controversial type statements in it, right? I always say you need to be able to have the confidence to share your opinion on how you feel about a certain topic. Because if you can do that, now the reality is people will either really go the other way and not like you, or you will probably pull them towards you, which makes this a much stronger client magnet funnel, as you can see this element here too, right? You want to stake your expert claims and opinions. Like really, what happens when you leverage your model effectively? We need to start bringing these pieces up because it's starting to lay the groundwork and it's starting to crush a little bit of false beliefs as far as what they thought was possible, right? So that's one big one out the gates there. The next piece here is the next phase within this one is the road I've taken to get there. This one should be pretty obvious. This is really just basically now your personal journey, wins and losses that led to creating this model, right? I could go over, if you're watching my content, you've heard me share a bunch of losses. Obviously, at the same time, you heard me share a lot of wins, right? I think that's all part of the personal brand, but specifically to this, people need to understand how you got to where you got to. How did you arrive here? How did you stumble upon this gold mine in a sense that you call your model and method, right? So that's that phase right there too. The next one is client success, the model. I'm jumping the gun here. The next one is biggest myths, right? So for this here, now we want to go ahead and list out false beliefs that your ideal customer believes is a must on the path towards achieving their ultimate desired result. This is such a big one because I always am talking about when it comes to content. I talk about this in the 30-minute system a lot. We need to be able to break false beliefs down. And this is why understanding the core elements and the unique mechanism, if you will, that are attached towards your offer, they're going to strengthen what you can do here, to say the least. They're going to make it so that now you're really shining a light on what you believe is nonsense to then show them a better way as we basically pivot into the next phase here, which is the model, right? So for the model, basically, this is where I always say you want to be able to get this out in less words, a clear, clean way to kind of just to present your model, right? And so for that, honestly, you can use this one-page pitch deck. This is something that I usually, I don't always give this away, but technically I want to just hook you up, as you saw, as a bonus for even getting this. So here's the bonus that you got for yourself, right? So there's my one slide offer method. I'm not going to go too deep into the model part because here's where, once again, you want to share your model. You want to share what makes it unique and you want to do it in an effective and efficient way. So for that, here is how I basically go ahead and do that, by sharing this on this end here with the one slide offer method. So you can honestly just watch that. That'll summarize that portion up for you. Even better than I could quickly share in 30 seconds. All right. So then the next piece now is client success stories, right? This one's kind of obvious too. Really here, we're now just sharing a slew of client testimonials and wins, right? We want to show that our model works, right? So if you have these, make sure you're sharing them. Once again, you don't have to do all of these sections. If you don't have any, I'm not saying make some up. That's the worst thing you should do. But the reality is you always could go ahead and maybe try to get, if you have some free clients that turn into testimonials. There's ways to get creative here on this part, but that's the client success stories. The next phase is why this is the only way for your ideal avatar, right? We're starting to get into the meat of it as far as really planting the seed towards the offer and closing, if you will, here, right? So really, we want to reiterate the changes you see coming. The changes in the industry you saw coming. The changes you saw coming in the industry earlier. Clearly, I can't even read what I wrote. But regardless here, this is where, like I said earlier, where you stated the authority, controversial statements alongside where you state, your expert claims and opinions here. We need to now, we're bringing that full circle. It's like, hey, I told you about this earlier. You heard my model now. Now you have a strong understanding to why I'm able to back up what I said before. It's like almost like we have now put our money where our mouth is, and I want you to understand that that's what's happened here, right? So now when they start to hear this brings us into the next strong transition, which is 3 options from here. And now as we have this, option number 1 basically is, hey, and this is what you're telling them here in the video. Number 1, you can completely ignore this advice, right? Just go ahead and act as if it went in one ear out the other. Cool. Option number 2, you can take this model and implement it for yourself, right? AKA spend years working out the kinks, etc. Like, good luck with that. It's like, hey, if you want, feel free to try and make this happen on your own. It's like almost like, hey, I've helped people been doing this for years, but if you think you can make this on your own faster and you're not in a rush, hey, by all means, right? We're not here to twist people's arm. We want the right people to say yes, right? So that's number 2. And then the third option from here, that's where we insert your offer, right? And so now we get into the offer breakdown at the next phase, which is now we just basically want to let them know, hey, who is this offer for, right? Once again, is this for whatever? Insert your avatar. You should know that by now, right? Beyond that, then we want to get into what's the primary goals of you going through this. What are the core deliverables they're going to get, and then what are the bonuses, if any? Like, we want to let them know what these key elements of the offer are. And then the last phase of this piece is the call to action, right? So for the call to action, really, once again here, we are just going ahead and most likely choosing what I like to say is we're directing them towards the call to action that we're choosing in the next piece, right? So once again, I'm going to almost like pause that there and move to the next piece because that'll make more sense. Because basically here in the next side, we now want to go ahead and choose one core call to action, right? So this is why I didn't want to say at the end of that last phase there, is because you need to choose what your call to action is going to be. Now, with that being said, you have these options to choose from, right? You can have them fill out an application. You can have them do an offer, send them to your offer doc, a sales funnel, a checkout page. I consider all those very similar, right? You can offer them to book a call. You can offer them to message you directly. For myself personally, I have always liked the application. I like application the most, honestly, but I probably the most success with the application, and then like the other ones I'd say that also have done well for me are really the offering a doc, basically like sharing them the offer, right? That or messaging you directly. The book a call portion, like once again, I'm not anti-sales calls by any means here. Like I still take sales calls. I'm all about quality over quantity. It's like you want to make sure if you are gonna get on a call, like I prefer to go this route where at least I can get an understanding of what they got going on before I get on a call with somebody, understand the situation. So this is where you want to go ahead and choose which option makes the most sense for you and then go double down that direction there. And then once you choose that, you can now go ahead and make sure you say that at the end of the video as well too. So just make sure you have this in advance before you go ahead and start. So that's really, once again, piece number 4, and then piece number 5 basically is the testimonials, right? And the other thing I want to mention too is when you say the message you directly, typically what I would do is, because you could change this button. Yes, this works for the app side. This button could say, hey, click here to see the offer. Hey, click here to book a call. Hey, click here to send me a message on Facebook. And then I might sometimes have like 2 buttons. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me a message on Instagram, right? Send me a message on LinkedIn, wherever works out best for you and where your main audience is. right? I've even done where it's like, hey, send me an SMS text here. Make sure you mention your name. So with that now, below this is the final piece of the 5-piece funnel, which is the testimonials. So for here, without a doubt, image screenshots, these work best for sure in this one. And really, we just, once again, let's just bring more validation. We don't need a ton of them, right? If you've seen the funnel, I think I have like, this is showing like a third of them or something, but straight to the point. And then from there, we just want to go ahead, repeat the call to action again at the end, and look at the funnel, see exactly what that layout looks like. And that's really it. And that is the client magnet funnel here, right? This is how we're going to go ahead and set this up so that you can go ahead and start really get some traction in the business. Stop making offers that just are kind of, once again, falling flat. And this is where, and once again, especially too, like I said, it doesn't end here, because you don't want to, you might be thinking, like, I don't want you to worry about traffic, right? Like, because at the end of the day, we're not just building funnels to sit there and hope. This isn't about hope marketing at all, right? So really, here's how we kind of drive consistent attention to this funnel in a sense here. Really, even without a huge audience, right? Like, and technically, I will say this as well: the nurture is already built in, right? Like the funnel video is the nurture. But to be honest, like, you can 10x its power by plugging it into a weekly content rhythm, or at the very least, a post funnel email drip, right? And we typically generate traffic to this, kind of doing really like 2 out of 4 of the proven lead gen methods that I teach inside of Brand of Clients. One of them is a 30-minute visibility engine, which honestly, I teach that inside of my 30-minute coach system and show you how to really just do that to warm up your audience daily. But there's that piece. Then the other is really kind of getting paid or even organic traffic in front of a lead magnet, just like this one here. Lead magnet, or potentially then the other option is kind of like a low ticket offer as well too. So once again, these are some of the ways that I like to teach and lean into, but the reality is, like, don't overthink this stuff. Like, some other kind of simple and quick ways, reality here, like, once it's built, you can get out in front of leads by just, plug it into email list, nurture sequence, plug it into your DM strategy, use it with retargeting ads to cold traffic, warm up posts from the 30-minute visibility engine, and then, reactivate past leads with a direct link. We don't want to overthink this, right? Reality, like, this is, in a sense, this is why I call it a magnet. Like, this it doesn't just sit there waiting. It pulls the right people when paired with the simple lead gen nurture systems that obviously that you probably potentially have right now. If you don't, like the same ones that we install inside of Brand of Clients, right? So like, really, this is it. I'll tell you right now, like, the funnel is the centerpiece, right? But the lead gen and nurture is what makes it magnetic. I say the moral of the story here, honestly, when you install this the right way, as you can see, it honestly does 80% of the selling for you. Like, that's why if you can just take your time to put in the 5 pieces, double down these 5 pieces, as you can tell, all of them are very quick to do. The video may be the longest part, but you could still knock that out in a day, especially if you already have your offer, right? Because really, once again, like, this is not a template I'm giving you. It's a selling system. And the more you use it, the harder it works, right? And once again, and if you want to turn more eyes into clients instead of having this stuff fall flat in his face, this is the first page they should see, right? So really, like I said, definitely tap into this as well too. Obviously as well, like I mentioned, if you are needing some more help on the lead gen side, maybe even just like packing together the whole ecosystem, maybe you need a stronger offer to put into this client magnet funnel. Obviously, like I said, I'm sure I'll have a link below this or somewhere to check out the specifics with my Brand of Clients, my B2C program there. I highly recommend checking that out if that's something that's, that you're interested in taking a peek at. Obviously, it's right there. I know there's no opt-in. It's just take a look and you can see it. But beyond that too, like I said here, we have the bonus resource that I say, because I mentioned this before you even jumped into seeing this. Obviously, for one, you have the video training companion guide that you are obviously watching right now. Beyond that, if you do want to go the application route, I also gave you the application questionnaire template, which is a Google Doc that just kind of hosts this as well too. I also gave you the done for you client magnet funnel via Google Doc as well. This is a way that just you can now go ahead and once again build this out on a Google Doc. I'm like, you don't have to overcomplicate this stuff, right? Yes, I love having systems and that, our Brand of Clients operating system is a huge way of how we function, but at the same time, like, simplicity is what's going to win for you in the business, right? And so then beyond that too as well, we have my personal funnel example. Like I mentioned, you have this that I showed you earlier. And then as well too, like I showed you before, we have the 1-page pitch deck. So take a look at all these. Like I said, lean in, give it a shot, double down with it. Obviously as well, if you want to license my system within B2C, I've given you the potential to do so somewhere around this video or this document, and we'll go ahead and take it from there. But take action, make the stuff work, go out there and implement this. Like I said, I want you to use this, which is why I made this simple for you to create, so you can get out there, get results. Do it, like I said, do it a portion of what my clients are doing and take advantage. I'll catch you later.